Say thank you, God. Well, I'm thanking God not because my life is good, not because I'm living a healthy life, not because the future looks bright for me, because I thank God that I'm not this low life here doing the things that I always bring up. It's funny how they call themselves gods and they have things orchestrated in this program because as a target individual, that's what happened. The target individual becomes like a subject that is no longer living life organically. What I mean by organically is everything is orchestrated. Everything is controlled, and they create an ecosystem around you of nobodies that participate in that. Now, those nobodies are nothing. Those the funny part is how these nobodies tend to try to put more weight on themselves as if they're the reason why things are good that way. And for me, what I've realized and what I'm recognizing is there's a lot of childlike participants. I keep saying that, and I've noticed the way they behave is so cringy because they try to make me see them as this important aspect of what's happening. And not only that, they try to make themselves sound so mysticful. It is so cringy because you recognize them as just a nothing. They so desperately want you to see them in this mysticful way. They even talk to you when they interact with you via V2K in this way. There's one that's so cringy, but I swear, I think I've seen one of these clowns. Look like a scrawny, unhealthy girl, but when they interact with me via V2K, you should hear them talk to me. It's like, yeah, you like girls, it's you. Yeah, just nothing. It's like, shut up. You will never make me internalize this manipulation, because what they do is, once they manipulate you to have experienced these things, the ecosystem is supposed to do these theatrics. They're supposed to gaslight you into accepting this. They have scripts of things they say. They have theatric activities, slamming the doors, being fake emotional, start yelling, say things like "not your pay," when in reality, what they're trying to do is to try to make you internalize this manipulation. And it's pathetic because it's the same thing, and clearly it's obvious what they do. No, you're forcing me to have these experiences because that's how you're going to attack my mind. You want to mental torture me using this pedophilia type of torture that you've done to others. They utilize clowns like you that's supposed to act in this theatrical way to make me subscribe to this. It's obvious that the people who've done these things to others are doing that to me. And for me, sometimes there's some random person, not too long ago, somebody started sending me messaging, because what they think is going to happen is, if everybody around you do these things or behave this way or see this as not a manipulation but just an observation, you're going to subscribe to that. You'll be like, oh, it's me then. This unknown stranger said this thing. So it gotta be not manipulation. They're clowns. And they have this other perps that talk to me via V2K where they're like, oh, no, you're not, huh? I was like, trash, you're a retard and you're a bottom feeder for pedophiles. These clowns are involved in a program that do horrible things to not only men and women, but children too, by the way. So you have these clowns who do everything possible to make you internalize this disgusting manipulation, which they've told me they're going to implant child porn, by the way, to frame me. They told me that they're going to have children playing rape victim. These are the same people who want you to think that you're not being manipulated in a program that's known to manipulate target individuals in these degrading ways. And so they think their behaviors, their acting is going to make you subscribe to that. So they use people who disconnect themselves from reality. And the big thing they try to disconnect from reality is what they're doing is just they bring rage into the target individual. Listen, I know what they're going to do is what I'm going to say here. Every time I see children, they're going to force me to get sexual stimulation. That's what they've been doing since August 19, 2019. I've been making these videos over and over and over in the same format. Then they're going to have these clowns around you who are going to go through scripts of things they put together. They're going to behave in some way like they couldn't manipulate the brain to have sexual arousals. In this program, it's about controlling the mind. They make you have the emotion, the stimulation, the sensation, the thoughts, the memories that they want you to experience. They can alter your memories. They can make you experience the thoughts that is them controlling. They can make you have a sexual stimulation. They can make you have a sensation of any nature. You are no longer yourself. You become or you experience what they want you to experience. And the clowns around you will go through the same script. For example, now they're like, oh, it's over. It's like, it's been over since day one. It's been over since August 19, 2019. So they have these tactics of trying to utilize like infantile ways of closure. It's like, it's over. Like it wasn't over before. But they say these things use to make you internalize this manipulation. It's like traditional brainwashing. Now, these clowns are ineffective in regard of like what they say. What's effective is the manipulation. I will be manipulated, and that is what's really deadly or disturbing. What they do is just agitating, especially when they come with a tantrum. And they expect for you to see them as people who don't manipulate the brain this way. You know the rage you should have, right? Imagine somebody that you know, or you know this individual are involved in something where your brain is purposely being rewired this way to experience this, to break you down. But you shouldn't get the anger of somebody who's doing that to you, who forces you to have this stimulation, this sensation. Matter of fact, right now somebody yells with passion as if this fucker is not involved in something where they purposely are forcing my brain to experience that, to mental torture the target individual. And it's going to left. It's going to go left. Because they utilize this disconnected individual. Some of them are not adults. They think if they go through their reputations like, you're not, huh? You are not, huh? It's not you, huh? At one point you believe, you know what? I'm not being manipulated. It is me. In reality, it's never going to happen like that. If these things were said in front of me, the target individual will probably crash out. Because he recognized, like most target individual, we recognize we're being manipulated. We understand that we're being rewired, manipulated in this degrading way. We understand that. I don't think I'm a genius in understanding that. Matter of fact, some have understood that so much that they lost their mind and killed because they rather die than continue to live in this manipulative way. But they send this clown disconnected with that, who think that if we are just persistent in the gaslighting, he will break down. He will stop resisting this manipulation and start internalizing the manipulation as if it's not him being manipulated. One thing I can say, on my last dying breath, there will be not a single fucking day that I don't know that I'm being manipulated. And if given the chance, these clowns want to gaslight me into internalize that in front of me, it will be a dangerous time. This is another typical thing here. Another ad where there's a black little girl with a father, or some black little girl, and then they do the manipulation. This is why I do these videos. I always do the screenshots of everything they do this as the degrading. Matter of fact, they were trying to mess with me in my prior video if you go watch that. But this is the stupidity here. Back to the reality of what is happening here. If I see an ad with a child or something with a child, it just disturb me. And then they go through their repetitions like, no, we're mapping. It's trash. You're manipulating the brain to make me experience that. And then you're going to go through some scripts and they're like, nah, Barry, remember what you did as a kid. You're not, huh? It's nothing, huh? Trash us. Yeah, it's nothing that you do the pedophilia type of torture. It's nothing that you are torturing children. It's nothing that you're causing people to lose their mind and kill in masses. It's nothing that you're known to be harming even the 3-week-old baby. You fucking delusional trash. It's nothing that you're involved in a program where mind control is being utilized to torment target individual. Or is it nothing because you're a bunch of retards that's supposed to gaslight me into this state of retardation? Because you're making yourself talk like a villain in a movie when you interact with me via V2K. And you really think it works. in this program, one ways they like to attack the mind is manipulating the sexual arousals and libido in degrading ways. It is disgusting, but that is not unique to me, and I find strength in that too. Because actually, unfortunately, that is a common tactic. They love to play with the target with just sexual arousal, making him and her or her have sexual stimulation whenever they want it in degrading ways. Then they use these losers of actors. When I say actors, I mean they're not really actors. They're acting. For example, Via Vitokas, I can hear this one. She's like, now, and she's really trying to sound this mystical voice. Like, clown, you failed. I see through what you're doing. You're talking to me like that. You harness this way of talking because you think it's going to be convincing. You know that the way you're talking is meant to make me subscribe to the nasty things that you're part of manipulating my brain into. That's why you don't want to be seen at. Because when you see me and we see face to face, first of all, the mystique of interacting via V2K is something. Because I've seen these people in real person. Oh my goodness, it's even like it's so bad. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. It's so bad when you see who's talking to you in this fashion. You're like, it makes it so obvious how gaslighting they are supposed to be. They are so pathetic. They're so pathetic, it's insane. But when I'm isolated in my own apartment, you hear them like, yes, it's nothing. You were, not this you, it's still you. It's finished. And that's what they say, right? Every time they manipulate me. And you can clearly hear why they're saying that this way. Because I'm supposed to be like, oh my gosh, it's me. Oh my gosh, this person sent a message. A random person. And yesterday there was this random person that on dating apps started messaging me. He's like, oh, it's so understood. Like, they think that I don't know that anybody who participated know that the brain is being manipulated. That's why they participate, that they love this. Earlier on, they were calling themselves gods. Not because they actually think they're gods. Some of this little pathetic trash. And I love when they call themselves gods, because when you see what these gods look like, it's amazing. But gods in the sense that I'm being controlled. Especially psychologically. They control me to have stimulation, sensation, and of course that does give a god-like feeling. That they can be involved in something that control my experiences. So everybody that participated, that loved that and enjoyed that and part of that, is that they want to make me subscribe to this, like, oh yeah, they understand that you get manipulate the brain. And what you see here is an ad, right? They gave me the sexual stimulation they forced me to have toward these babies, and like, now we mapped it to you as a kid. We're gods. It's trash. And the funny part is, like, the sexual arousal aspect of manipulation is not actually the most sophisticated aspect of what they can make you experience. This is just quite like the old version of early state of like mind control, what they were able to do in the 60s. They were able to make people have sexual arousals or other emotion long time ago, like in the 60s. This is truly surprising that so long ago they were already so advanced in what they were capable of doing to a human being via the alteration or the stimulation of the brain. So what they just made me experience in this case is not the most sophisticated, because it's just purely forcing you to have sexual arousal by manipulating the part of the brain that forces you to have sexual arousals. So that's not even like, that's advanced. It gets really advanced when the thoughts are being involved, and sometimes they don't even just give you sensation, stimulation, but they can concoct them. and things become very sophisticated at that level. This was not the most sophisticated, but still the very degrading experience. Imagine you see a child and then being forced to get sexual arousal, and then there's clowns around you like, oh yeah, it's you. Some of these clowns, they have this like gaslighting tactic of utilizing emotions of their own. So yelling, it's you, and you're big. And they yell out and with this fake emotion. There's even some clowns like, yeah, you're gonna die. Some guys outside yelling all kind of random things. And you can see what they're trying to do. They try to agitate you, try to put fear tactic into it, brainwashing you to internalize that. It's traditional brainwashing. But what's really doing the thing here is not the traditional brainwashing. It's this sophisticated technological aspect of manipulating your brain. That is the thing that gets you. They can go through repetition. Sometimes what they do is they time with my brain to say things like you're not what what we're saying you are. When my brain is like in a state of thinking, so they can internalize this a little bit more. It doesn't work. Well, it goes into my brain, but I'm like, okay, you just timed it, so you think this is gonna go that way. Then come and try to do that. So the technology aspect of the manipulation of your brain, you can't do nothing about that. You're truly helpless. It is truly the most impactful thing. The rest is just agitating. The gimmicks, the gaslighting, the traditional brainwashing is get you to be agitated, just angry. The manipulation gets you disturbed, breaks you, because you truly feel helpless here. When they start doing that clownery, you just get angry and enraged. But when you're being manipulated and you can do nothing about it, and you know it's like this is what's going to happen all the time. It's like you have to accept the reality that my brain is for them to do whatever they want. You can do nothing. If they want me to have sexual arousals, they can intensify the sexual arousal they make you experience. They can make it worse. They can make it less. It's like that's what's gonna happen. And every day they're gonna try to make you internalize this. For me, because it's a black little girl, it's like, no, black girls, you little black girls, it's you like little black girls. Trash ass. Try to implant your nastiness in my brain, the way they've been putting things in my brain. Earlier on, I was listening to people talk about some other things, and I'm not even going to say. They try to make me think that he said little girls. When he says something completely different. And they try to make me say, oh, you see, like a little girl in my brain. He was talking about plug something. I'm not even going to repeat it here. But to go into like this, that shows how manipulative they are. And then they go into like, oh yeah, we bested you again. Oh, got you. It's okay. Bunch of clowns forcing people to have these experiences, expect to not be killed. I know I'm not a killer. I know I'm not an aggressive person. I know I'm not a violent person. I don't want to be one. I don't want to become somebody who crash out like Steve Marlowe and whatnot. But we all have a limit. These trash not only do these things knowing that the target individual know that they're being manipulated, but they become entitled with tantrum. People are killing for this manipulation. You think Teenage Tantrum is going to get me to subscribe to this? I will continuously see things for what they are, and I'll never subscribe to that. This is the typical things that they do. They will try to mess with me because I do the screenshot every time they do these things. And if they mess with me, I make these videos. It is draining because usually they do that all the time. I have to, for example, this was orchestrated for me to see this ad, but the things that I can't do anymore? I'm scared to look at the ads. I'm scared to watch movies. I'm scared to watch anything. I'm like, I have to watch anime all the time. If I want to watch entertainment, I need to listen to like podcasts. I can't, I love to watch movies. I love to watch shows. But I'm scared because what if an ad comes and there's a child? They're going to disturb me. So I'm very careful in what I'm watching because I'm disturbed by what they do to my brain. When I go outside, I'm not scared of somebody stabbing me, beating me up, and none. That scares me. What I'm scared of, there's going to be children around and they're going to disturb me. Because that is tormenting. And then these clowns around you are going to be like, yeah, you're known. And they're going to use like their ways of talking. They're supposed to be so mysticful. And it's like, you're a clown. Trash ass. They have this little sayings they have. It's retard. They have this like ways of saying things and just trying to be scary and mystic fools. Like you're just a trash low life who's just a bottom feeder in this program, which these entities running this program are filled with pedophiles. I'm not saying that because I'm talking about Pizzagate or this conspiracy theory. It's truly an issue with the DOD and child porn. That's been consistently an issue since 2019. I'd love to bring that up because these same clowns that do this thing, that try to gaslight me, are the same trash who tell me they're going to frame me by playing child porn. And if you go watch my last video, you'll see how they try to prep this field of... This is the same trash who's like, yeah, no, there's something. It's like, you tell me the people involved in the program where they've been attacking the mind, these degrading ways, in which the program and the target individual in that program have said a lot about being tortured in this pedophilia-centric way. Those same people tell me they're going to implant child porn to frame me, will not manipulate me in this pedophilia-centric way. So I'm going to let that happen. I'm going to let them... They think I'm going to make myself that retarded. There's a chance of me even doubting what they're doing here to me. But I should be doubtful that they manipulate my brain to experience that. Because I'm some tantrum teenage trash living next door.